Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. A metric that isn't often spoken about when it comes to Bitcoin is coins that aren't moving. A lot of times we have heard before in the past, we hear a lot about the price movements, where coins are going, the whales who are buying them, but I've made sure specifically in the past to note that there are a large amount of coins that end up moving to an address, to a wallet, and then do not end up moving again or ever again. This is a lot of where we've gotten the metric from of the lost coins, the coins that people believe are kind of lost and gone forever. The generalized idea being, as Bitcoin rises in price, and you know that it has risen in price, you would probably do a lot more to move your coins to make sure that they're in a safer place as opposed to a computer from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years ago. You would definitely move your coins, especially if your portfolio had risen. The amount of Bitcoin that has been unmoved, isn't moving, has accelerated a lot over the last 2 years, and I'll tell you exactly why 2 years is significant. There are a number of different ways to measure the amount of coins that people assume are going to move, may not move, and probably are never going to move again, and or no, that's basically probably it. The first metric goes, if you see coins in different wallets that tend to move or have moved on a daily and or weekly basis, these are probably people who are day traders, who are trading their Bitcoin often, and therefore we expect these coins to kind of move. These are the liquid coins that we talk about, where we've spoken about before that there's actually not as much as people think that there are. Because a lot of times you will see the daily volume on a Bitcoin exchange, cryptocurrency exchange platform reach billions of dollars, and people go, well, there's billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin left. And usually if one person has, random number, has $50 million that they're trading over the course of that day, so 50 here, 50 here, 50 here, back and forth, well, that adds up quite quickly to the actual daily volume, because it's not just that 50 million that's counted in that. It can actually be 600 million that's flowing just from that one single person alone. High number, but you understand exactly what I'm talking about. These are the liquid coins that actually we have available for everyone. Another metric is the actual, they call LTH, the long-term holder metric. And these are coins that haven't moved anywhere from around 155 days and or less. So we typically see that there are a number of people who, for whatever reason, we're not sure exactly why it's 155 days and or half of a year, who buy their coins, they don't move them, and then at some point they end up moved to a crypto exchange, or they buy more, or they end up selling. It could be for tax reasons, not exactly sure, but I don't know of many countries that have tax incentives after 155 days. The other metric is actually a lot farther, and that is a 2-year metric. The 2-year metric also includes the amount of wallets who have coins going in, and there's no coins going out. So it's usually that, or it's also wallets that are just have accumulated and simply have not moved. A lot of people refer to these as like a diamond hand wallet, and or people who are hodling their Bitcoin. Basically, people who believe in it and have no intention of selling. This metric also gets a bit askewed when you talk about other people who are actively trying to hold on to their coins forever. You would not believe it, but there are a huge amount of people who are going to hold on to their Bitcoin forever until it reaches around $1 million plus. And then at some point, they'll begin to use their Bitcoin in daily life. The idea is nobody wants to be the pizza guy. So therefore, if you can buy Bitcoin, hold on to it, it goes to $1 million, and you only roughly have to spend 1/100th of it over the course of a year, then basically you've made it in the Bitcoin space. The other metric being the like far end of it, where it comes to the actual coins that just aren't moving anymore. They're just simply they're kind of stuck. We believe that people lost their passwords or their whatever it might be for their computers and have no access to these coins at all. The numbers are today, and very interesting. The amount of Bitcoin that we see getting locked up usually tends to rise as we get closer to, you guessed it, a halving. And the amount of Bitcoin that has currently been unmoved for more than 2 years is actually 57% of the entire supply. That is to say, the amount of coins over the course of more than 2 years that have not moved is 57%. This metric is also not entirely accurate, simply because we know that there are companies like MicroStrategy. For those of you who missed it, the CEO of it's called MicroStrategy, but the CEO's name is Michael Saylor. So sometimes I always say the company MicroStrategy, I kind of mix it all up. Anyway, the CEO of MicroStrategy, his name is Michael Saylor, said that they basically plan on buying Bitcoin forever and have no intention of selling their Bitcoin. The issue is that they've bought a lot of their Bitcoin in less than the 2-year period. So the 2 years plus are people from 2021 and before who bought their coins and they're not moving. But the metric, of course, goes a lot higher as to the unmoving coins, because MicroStrategy isn't in that 2-year period. They're less than 2-year period. And they also hold more than, I think it's around 1% of all the Bitcoin now. Same exact thing with the CEO. I believe he also has a 6-figure amount of Bitcoin as well. So we're near a 60 and or above 60% of Bitcoin that has gone unmoved over the course of 2 years. This metric rises even further as to the amount of unmoved coins. When you go to the actual 1-year metric, and then to the half-a-year metric, and then to the 155-day metric, and also the 30-day metric, there are also a lot of people who are buying right now who also have no intention of selling. The idea is that these metrics help us to kind of get an idea as to where Bitcoin's price can or would go if this trend continues. And this is where we get these price predictions from. It's not just about the amount of money flowing through the actual network or the actual usage, is also like the supply crunch. How little coins are left for all these people in the world. This is why we're talking about, in all the other videos, when you discuss the idea of BlackRock and Fidelity, BlackRock and just Fidelity, holding over more than 1% of all Bitcoin, having accumulated that over the course of 4 weeks, you tend to see that all this accumulation isn't even written into that more than 2-year period. So imagine by the time we end up getting to 2027 and we see that they're now included in that metric for the unmoved Bitcoin, that number will be probably around 70 or 80% of all Bitcoin that has gone unmoved, and probably will not be moving for a very long time until Bitcoin hits a much higher number, simply because if Bitcoin's at 50,000, the amount of people who want to sell it and or use it is probably a lot lower than people who are going to use and or sell their Bitcoin when it hits $500,000. Very, very weird metrics that we have going on, but it's always nice to see actual numbers. I think a lot of times, a lot of what hits the market ends up just being speculative, but when we actually hear the amount of coins that are being accumulated and or that aren't moving, and that's just over the course of a 2-year basis, don't forget, rich people are buying up tons of Bitcoin and locking it into mountains. Look it up. It sounds crazy, but it's actually happening. Yeah. Just thought I'd bring you that news. The amount of Bitcoin being locked up and not moving continues to rise as people are, the belief is now that this is a hyper, not only new, but a very strong asset class. It has a long way to go. So people are locking up their coins to basically pass on to their kids and their grandkids. Like actually, like really though. Yeah, that's not a joke. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.